welcome. You know, today is a very special day. Today is one of those days where hate to see it go, but I love to see you leave, man. Bryce Robinson, right. I can't even put the right energy because today is Bryce Robinson's last episode.
Let's give him a round of applause, everybody.
I'm truly sad. That's why I was thinking about it while the intro was playing. I was like, it's Bryce's last episode. We've had a good run.
Man, this has been so much fun. When I started doing this with you and Christian last fall, I've had so much fun doing this. It's like you get to come in here, you get to talk sports with your friends, and man, you get to cut up, have fun, and just, man, this has been awesome.
Yeah, where's the time going? But today is the grand finale of the year, of the season, of CrunchTime. In Studio B, I am Dylan Walton, the man of the hour, Bryce Robinson, and Miss Ashley Roberts. Now today, we got a jam-packed show. We're going to have a good show. The energy is good because we can't let Bryce leave on a bad note. We can't let that happen. But before we get into all the news, all the good stuff, all the bad stuff, first of all, how does everybody feel? We're near the end of the semester. We got about 2 weeks left. You graduate in a couple weeks.
Yep.
So how we feel? We're going to start with you first for the majority of the show today. We might throw Ashley a little ones and twos.
I'm so ready to be done. I'm so ready to graduate. Like, listen, I've been in college since 2019. Yeah, I'm ready to be done. Okay, I'm nothing against the school. Okay, I'm just ready to be done with homework and all this extra testing and stuff. I'm ready just to get out there and start being a big boy now. Getting out in the big world. But no, it's been great. It's toward the end of the semester. I finishing up one last project I got, and we'll be out of there, man.
Yeah. Ashley, how you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. This semester has been very impactful and super successful for me. So I honestly have no complaints. I'm ready for, to wrap this semester up and then, kick everything off in the fall. I think it's just going to continue to go up from here. So I'm very, very glad with how the semester is unraveling and wrapping up at this point. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good myself. I mean, I'm a little tired some days. I'm a little energetic some others. But for the most part, I am feeling pretty okay. I cannot complain. So we're going to get right into the news because enough about us. It's about sports. Ain't nobody come here for a therapy session, right?
Mm-hmm,
or sports and therapy. How to okay, never mind. I don't know.
Sports.
I'm tripping today. Okay, so news. We got golf, track and field, and we got more golf and tennis awards. So we're going to start off with golf. Women's golf posts a top 4 finish at the ASUN Conference Championship, while also Erica Scott named the 2025 ASUN Women's Golf Scholar Athlete of the Year. So that's a big one, student-athlete duality. That's what we love. Mm-hmm. And then we have Giovanni Beaches from men's tennis with the All-ASUN Academic Award. And then lastly, track and field, went to Cali, Long Beach,
mm-hmm.
Kicked it a little bit in the sand, and but they lost, fell 4-3 in the first round of the ASUN tournament. So I'm not sure how the track and field, they play everywhere, but it be conference.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it all works, but I guarantee you that long travel had something to do with it. So you bring them girls on our turf, man.
Yeah,
I say it's a different story.
Ain't no home cooking food. I don't know what they eat out there in California. I don't know what's the staple dish.
They eat
crabs,
a lot of greens,
crab legs,
a lot of green juices. I heard and.
They
fresh.
drinking chlorophyll out there?
They on that Tom Brady diet out there.
And the TB12 diet. So, all the seasons are most likely wrapping up or getting to wrap up once school ends towards the end of, like, the middle of May area. So I'm excited to see how we finish because baseball and softball are top teams right now.
Rolling.
And everything's cooking. So before we get into baseball and softball, the SPs, SPs, the Austin Peay Award show for all the athletes was the other day. And Isaiah on the ones and twos, we got a little slideshow for him. So, Zay, we're going to start out with the breakout player of the year from softball is Kylie Hinton. She had a phenomenal season this year. as well as Team 40 did all season long. I mean, 24 games in a row. You're number 1, number 2 in your conference. Best overall record in your conference. Top team, right? Then next, who we got next? We got Coach of the Year, the softball coach. Team 40 getting all the recognition. Miss Casey Stanfield. She's done a phenomenal job the past few seasons, but this has been her year. Everything has worked in her favor. Now she just has to produce in the playoffs. What's next, Zay? Boom. 6'8". Wing. I need our max wing. I need a max wing. Tate McCubbin, 6'8", Rookie of the Year. Men's basketball had a phenomenal ending of the season. You know, he had up 30-plus points against EKU. Versatile shooter, can get busy, and thank God he did not hit the transfer portal. Yeah. We'll see him right back again next year, Tate McCubbin. What we got last one, Zay? And then we got track and field.
Meep.
Taylon Seagree is also the Rookie of the Year. She does track and field. I'm not sure all the events that she does, but when you do track and field, you probably do the best of both worlds. So that's just a few of the awards that, you know, I thought about highlighting because, you know, it's a lot of them. Have you ever been to the ESPYs? Did you?
I have.
How is that?
It's fun, man. It's a fun night. You know, you're there with all your other athletes from all the sports, man. Everyone gets to dress up, you know, and it's just like the I don't know, the ESPN has an awards. I don't know if it might be called
it's the ESPYs.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the same format, but just for the Govs, you know. It's kind of slimmer down, you know. Like they give out all these awards, like we saw. They give out awards to trainers, breakout players. They do awards like Moment of the Year, Game of the Year, stuff like that. So it's a fun night. They have great food always. So come in and get a nice little meal, chop it up with some other teams you may not get to because everyone's so busy. So it's a fun night, man, and just get in there and let some people get some recognition.
Okay. Ashley, before we move on to baseball, you go to the ESPYs. What's the outfit?
Well, I hate to say it, but I love a good all-black moment. I love a good all-black moment, maybe a little bit of accent and color, maybe on the shoes, maybe in the earrings, possibly. But yeah, probably just a nice, simple black vibe. I think would be nice for that kind of event.
Well, what you wear to this?
See, I was gonna go with the all black, but since I'm gonna rock with the all navy.
Okay.
A little white, no tie, button at the top.
Okay. I feel you.
Them light brown shoes.
Yeah.
No socks.
They always say you can trust a man.
I'm just kidding. I gotta wear socks.
Yeah,
I gotta wear socks.
Yeah, you can trust a man. I'm like a green, olive green, burgundy type of guy. Either one of them two. Brown shoes, of course.
Silk. You rocking that?
Hey man, never mind. We ain't gonna go. We ain't gonna go there. But okay, now let's get to the real stuff, y'all. Baseball, best team in the conference, best team almost in Austin Peay history. The sweep over EKU, they became the fastest team in program history since 1971 to reach 30 wins. EKU was a series that the Govs needed right before the ASUN championships. It had a lot of playoff division amplifications in it. And then Friday night, Jacob Weaver threw the second no-hitter for the Governors in just, 10 days? I don't think that's ever been done before in Austin Peay history.
No, because we talked about it before on the show that pitching has been something the team has struggled with over the past couple of years, and they've always had great bats. They've always hit the ball well. But to see the pitching and the defense start to get on track and get where it needs to be, now you're seeing the offense and the defense come together, and that's what's stringing these wins along. So I'm happy that the pitching, I don't know if they made some adjustments in the pitching staff. I don't know if they changed up the routine a little bit. But the guys are rolling on the bump right now, and we need to keep that going to finish out the year strong and head into tournament play.
Okay. Ashley, what does it mean when you beat a conference opponent like that? You throw 2 no-hitters, big history, monumental making moments. How does it feel, month before, playoffs?
I mean, I feel like it's some really good momentum to have. I mean, having a game that's a no-hitter is just an accomplishment in any level of baseball. So, yeah, I think it's just, honestly, the way you would want to enter a playoff tournament. I mean, with that kind of performance, it's definitely going to affect the confidence of not only the pitching, but, the team as a whole. They feel like they can trust their pitcher, and he probably can – I'm sure he can trust, the people around him, the infielders, outfielders, all of that as well. So, I just think it's, really, really good momentum leading into tournament play. So, it's really good.
Yep. I had a 3-game weekend series. So on the 17th, Cameron Nickens, who has been a phenomenal player. I mean, one of the best players. You know, we always have some guys when it comes to that baseball team. He had 2 doubles. He had some home runs. Gus Freeman had a double. Ray Velasquez also had a double. And then 93 total pitches. I don't want to butcher his last name. He's the pitcher. But I know his first name is Gavin. I'm not very fond of butchering people's last names, so I'm not even going to disrespect him like that. But he had 93 total pitches. He gave up 4 runs, 4 errors, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And he had Solomon Washington with 41 total pitches. So 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 11 at-bats. So it's not too bad. Not too bad at the day of the mound.
No. And like we said, like when you look at this team, like I got the stats in front of me. Like their top averages, you have 412 batting. You have Nick Cameron. We just talked about him. He's doing a great job. 412, 393, 366 with John Bay. These averages are unreal because we know in baseball, like baseball is a game of failure. Like if you're batting around 200 to the low 300s, like that's good.
Yeah.
These guys are well above the 300 mark, and like. Now just looking at these stats, like that's why these guys are winning games. Like just being able to get on base, and we just talked about the pitching too. Like just seeing how these guys are being able to come together on the mound and not like the no hitters are just phenomenal, but just to be able to give your guys a chance to win on the mound, that's all you can ask for from a pitcher is to get up there, throw strikes, give the 8 guys behind you to make a play for you, and then try to rely on your bats to go get enough runs to win the game. And that's what these guys are doing right now. Coach Fanning is doing a phenomenal job. He is one of my favorite coaches to ever come through Austin Peay. He's such a energetic guy. He is so fun to be around and so fun to play for. I've heard from the players that I've spoken to and talked to that he's awesome, and I'm excited to see what this team is able to do. Hopefully they close it out strong, and they got the Hotty Toddy coming up.
Hotty Toddy. I mean, they had the midweek opponent, just in Lafayette, Indiana, West Lafayette, something like that. Purdue, 16-10 final score. Andres Matias and Ray Velasquez, only 2 players to hit a home run. But the craziest stat that I seen was we had 3+ runs in innings 3, 4, 7, and 9.
Yep. That's a big that could take the wind out of your sails for the opposing team. You know, like when you want to give up, you don't want to give up more than one. If you're going to give up a run, that you can afford 1 run, but when you start giving up those multiple run innings, man, that's when you start to put yourself in the hole. And once that happens consistently over time, it's hard to dig yourself out of, especially at the collegiate level in baseball when pitching and hitting is so well on both sides of the dugout.
Yep. And then Ashley, before we get on the softball, okay. Best overall record in the conference, 2nd overall seed in the A-Sun, 1st in the gold division. I still need to find out the graphite, gold, silver divisions. I'm not really sure. Is that new? That has to be new.
Yeah,
I don't remember seeing it.
I haven't heard of that before, so we'll have to do a little bit more digging on that.
Do a little bit more research on that one. But Ashley, just tell me, do you think, is this one of the best baseball teams we've had with all these records being broken and all these accolades being accomplished?
So not extremely well versed on just the past baseball teams that have been, at Austin Peay. But I think any time that a group can get together, they can be consistent in how they play and winning games. And then you add breaking records on top of it. I mean, it's just something that you just can't compete with. And I'm pretty sure, alumni players or, people like that, they're probably looking at this team and they're like, yeah, they're probably very impressed with the performance and the ability of the team to just be consistent. And like Bryce was saying, the leadership is very important when it comes to those kinds of things. So shout out to the baseball team. Shout out to the head coaches, all the coaching staff. They're putting in some work.
Yeah, all the coaches right now, it's crunch time. As y'all know, it's crunch time. It's playoff time. And it's nothing else matters about getting that win. That's the only thing that matters. And softball have done a phenomenal job of racking up wins. I mean, if you just give them a small recap, 24 straight wins. I mean, you went to Arizona, you got wins over there. You went up north, you got wins down there. You went to nice old Texas, and you got a large fry from Whataburger and a large Coke and a Pepsi, and you got the win down there. That's the only thing they know how to do because they're stamped with history. So they broke the single season record with scoring runs earlier this week. They broke another single season record with home runs this week. And then they also clinched the A-Sun championships. They clinched a berth in the first of 3 games in a weekend series against EKU. So they have just done a phenomenal job. And guess what, Bryce? I don't know if you know, brother.
What's hit me with
Ashley had a sit down with one of the players from Team 40, from the softball team.
Get out of here.
We get a little insight on, you know, how Team 40's been doing, how she's been doing. So we're going to let Ashley introduce who's being interviewed from Team 40 from the softball team.
Yeah, guys, I had the privilege of sitting down and having a great conversation with Miss Kylie Campbell. She was fantastic. It was great, and I just enjoyed every bit of it. So I think we're going to go ahead and get that rolling now for you guys.
Isaiah, go ahead and put on the ones and twos. Another gem dropping by Ashley Roberts.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Roberts, and I would like to thank everyone for tuning in to another episode of Crunch Time. On this week's episode, I have the privilege and the honor of sitting down with a very special guest. Okay, guys? She was first team All-ASUN just last year and only the 7th player in program history to record 200 hits. And at this point, it's probably more than that because the season isn't even over yet, guys. Straight out of 96, South Carolina, we have Miss Kylie Campbell. Kylie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into it. You guys are coming upon the last little bit of your season. Right now, you're ranked number 3 overall in the ASUN conference. But in my opinion, you still have a really, really good chance of being one of the teams competing for that ASUN championship title. So just tell me, how do you feel about that, and how do you feel about the position that you and your team have put yourselves in leading up to this point in the season?
Absolutely. It's anybody's game right now. We just came off of a tough loss with BKU. That would have put us a little bit higher spot, but this weekend we could defeat Central Arkansas. We have a good series, past series with them, so I'm looking forward for the little rematch. I think if we take this series, we'll definitely be in a great spot. The fact that we've already clinched is a huge thing for us. We're really working hard to get that bye in the first round, so I feel good about where we're at.
Okay, good, good, good. You guys are 30-11 overall record and 11-7 in the conference. 30-7 or 30-11 is a really remarkable record to have, if you ask me. What do you think has contributed most to you guys' success this season on the field?
Absolutely. I would say our coaches really buying into us. We work hard day in and day out, but really owning our craft and understanding that every match is going to be a dogfight, and understanding that like people did expect us to be like an underdog, and so now we've gotten a little bit more notice with our name, but we still have a lot to prove.
Okay. Now, you personally, Kylie, you have 8 home runs thus far this season, 30 RBIs, and that's just to name a few stats, guys, because really the list is a lot longer than that. But you've come up kind of through the ranking starting your freshman year here at Austin Peay. So can you tell me, how have you grown, or how do you think you've grown most as not only a player but a person as well?
Absolutely. Softball is definitely a game of failure, so understanding that you're not going to be perfect is a hard pill to swallow, but once you get past that, you're able to understand that you just got to do a job for the team. I typically don't look at stats just because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You know, if the team wins, you win. If not, you're not. So I feel like my stats just reflect that my team's been able to capitalize and have a great season. So I'm hoping that I can continue to do what my team needs, and we can roll through this and hopefully get an ASUN championship.
It's a good mindset as a leader. I like that. I like that. On a recent interview you had on Talking Schmidt with Mr. Ethan Schmidt, you were just talking about how it's not enough thanks you could really give to just how many people have really bought into the program this season, and kind of just, you know, seeing the vision for you all. There's one statement you made that I want to quote. You said, "I can't even say enough good things about this university, just a wonderful place to be." That statement really stood out to me because in many ways I can relate to that statement, and I feel the same way. So just talk about what your time here has meant for you and what it's meant to you.
Absolutely. Came in as a freshman. Can't believe it was 4 years ago, but it was. And I told Coach K that I would do anything for the team. I would go wherever. I was a catcher utility, so I was like, if I need to be in the bullpen, I'll be in the bullpen. But if you need me in the outfield, I'll literally do whatever it takes. And she was like, well, what do you really enjoy? And I was like, I just want to be a hitter. And so I was DP my freshman year, and I got to embrace so much. My hitting coach my freshman year was Coach Bree. She was able to teach me a lot of things. And I said, I don't want to just be a slapper. I want to have power. I want to be like able to do damage, a full triple threat. And she said, absolutely, let's go. And I spent, I can't tell you how many hours in the cages trying to learn my swing. My swing is very unique. And so I feel like whenever you're able to see something like that, you know that a lot of people have crafted it. But I've just been able to been poured into. Coach K has complete confidence in me in any position I go to, even if it's a non-traditional like outcome. And then you go off the field and you have such amazing people with like Avery and Alex and Ethan and everybody around us, and just you got Gerald and President Lakari and everybody just making sure everything can be done. I just feel like there's not many places that you can go and you sit in a series and you have your athletic director and your president heckling the imps and like proud to be like a governor. And so I just say that this has been my place, and I am just proud that like I never fell victim to the transfer portal. I just stuck it out here and rocked with it. It's been great.
I completely agree with you. Even just attending some of the games, like seeing
Absolutely.
President Lakari, Mr. Gerald Harrison, and like, just seeing all of the support that you guys get, it makes me proud to just be a student, here.
Absolutely.
So I definitely can understand that. Your most recent accomplishment just this past Monday night, you were named Austin Peay's Athlete of the Year. And now, like you've said and I've said as well, you started here as a freshman, so you know what it's like to kind of come up the ranks to work for your position. Tell me, how does it feel to come all that way and as a senior to be given the acknowledgement and the honor of Athlete of the Year? Like, how does that feel for you?
It's pretty surreal. It's kind of a full circle moment. I came in as a freshman and was just kind of like a little underdog. Slappers don't typically get that kind of recognition. And going into this year, Coach K was like, I like when you swing it. Like, let's swing it this year. And this past weekend, I had a game facing one of the best pitchers in the ASUN, and I was like, I'm just going to take my hacks. Like, we have nothing to lose. Like, just get in there and hack. And I ended up hitting 2 home runs, which was my first home run career game. And I just feel like that would just be the best way to describe this year. I was just like, I have nothing to lose, Like, might as well just go out swinging and see what can happen. And
quite literally.
My season has really reflected that, so it's been great.
That's cool. That's cool. I was going to mention earlier, 2 of those 8 home runs did come from the last series against EKU.
Yeah, it's very crazy.
Yeah. I have one more question for you, Kylie. I can't imagine, just with you being a senior, how much this team means to you, how much this season has meant to you, and really just, your entire career here. What is the mark that Miss Kylie Campbell wants to leave on Austin Peay, and what's the mark that you want to leave on Austin Peay's softball program?
Absolutely. It's really heartbreaking whenever you think that this weekend's senior weekend and I won't be here very much longer, but I hope that I leave a mark on this program, and it's that, like, the game does not define you. Like, whether you go 0 for, whether you go 4 for 4, like, it doesn't matter. Like, like, you're still like a daughter in Christ, and like, you need to stand up for what you believe in, and just understanding that like God is the center, and like God's given me the abilities to like make this impact on this program. And it's just been so wonderful to like see a team stand so firm in their faith, and just having Team 40 around me has been wonderful. And I just hope that they remember me on and off the field as not just a softball player, but also like a leader and like a daughter in Christ.
I will add this too, coming to your games, all of the walk-up songs, the gospel songs and everything, I'm like, wow, it's not something that you really see or like hear much, in certain atmospheres, but that whole faith that you were just talking about is definitely reflected, and I'm pretty sure everyone that witnesses and comes to your games like experiences that as well.
Absolutely. We really hope that we can make a movement more towards it. We all stand pretty firm in our faith, and even some of the girls that aren't very faithful, they still respect it, and they're open to ask questions, and I hope we are like building curiosity. So hopefully we're doing our jobs,
Yeah, of course. Well, guys, that's all we have for you today. I wish I could just have even more of a longer conversation with Miss Kylie Campbell here, but thank you so much for coming, Kylie. Is there anything that you want to say before we go today?
No, just thank y'all for having me.
Of course. Thanks, guys.
Another great interview. I think we 3 for 3 in the last 3 weeks. I mean, Isaiah started it off dropping the gems, and then I came in, Chris Parsons, and then boom, Ashley finishes off the right way with Kylie Campbell and the softball team. So Ashley, we just want to give you your flowers. Yeah.
you. Thank you.
So how was it, being in that environment again, interviewing her, and just how was that moment for you?
It was great. I mean, I think my main takeaway from the interview was she just talked about how her team and herself, they're very rooted in their faith and grounded in their faith. And I think based on my time, like playing sports and whatnot, those are always the best teams to be a part of. And I've actually had the most success on teams where like faith was just one of the biggest components and aspects to, the coaching and the playing and just the entire mentality of the team. So I loved talking to Kylie. Hopefully, I can get more softball players in the future. It was great. So, yeah.
Okay, so number 2 overall seed, second in wins, 33-11. So they're high, even though they've been losing ever since their 24-game win streak. Bryce, a month before playoffs, we gonna keep. That's the point of today's episode. A month before playoffs, you drop a good rival game against EKU. You have Central Arc coming up, and then that's the season. What's the mentality when you still got conference rivals and you still need to finish the season strong?
Listen, so your objective right now is I don't think they need to change anything right now. They have a great culture established. They have a great foundation. The relationships between the girls, like, it's just something that you just don't see on every team, So what they need to do is right now is just resharpen their fundamentals, just make sure everyone stays healthy. Get everybody, if you have a little arm issue, get some extra treatment on it, and just get ready to make a run, because I feel like these girls can really do it. They have what it takes. They have the mentality, they have the talent, they have the coach. Everything is in store for these girls to go and make a run in this tournament and in the postseason. I'm so excited to watch them, and I really hope that they can do something with it.
Yep, they had a midweek this week. Tennessee Tech, that's been a recent rival of baseball, so nice way for the softball team to come down here. We got the dub in 8 innings, extra innings, 7-6. We've had a lot of close games with some teams that's not in our ballpark, but that happens, in the name of game of sports, man. Sometimes the smaller teams or the teams that may get overlooked or anything like that, sometimes they like to show up and show out, and unfortunately they showed up, but they didn't get the chance to show out. So it feels good. Kylie Campbell hit 2 home runs over the weekend series against EKU. And then Minor and Martin, the pitchers, 135 total pitches in the last game where they dropped it 6-4. 9 total hits, 6 runs, 6 errors. Miss Martin had 5 of those 6 errors, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. So the pitching seems to be dropping off just a little bit. But we still got faith in the softball team.
Yeah.
Still got faith in Team 40. So unfortunately, this is our last episode, so we can't give you the playoffs, and we wish we could. We wish we could, because the playoff content would be phenomenal. But it's the last signage of the year. I'm kind of sad. But, Bryce, any final words, brother, before you? We'll start with Ashley, then we'll end with you. Ashley, any final words before we leave?
It's been a pleasure, guys. It's been a pleasure. Like I said before, this semester has been very impactful for me, and I know it has a lot to do with CrunchTime and me just being on the mic and being alongside of you guys. So I just want to thank you guys and thank everyone who has just supported us behind the scenes and all of that. It's been great. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Bryce because it's all about him today.
Yeah.
Well, all I got to say is thank you, guys. Thank you for including me in the
Yes,
show.
sir, brother.
Thank you to all the teachers, faculty, and staff for allowing me to come here and just kind of implement my voice into the show and just be a part of this amazing opportunity that I've been blessed with. It's been so much fun. I'll never forget it. And who knows, maybe a little guest appearance in the fall. Who knows?
Okay. So, hey, he booked himself a visit for next year. I have a recruit coming, baby. Yes, sir. But that's all. Dylan Walton, Ashley Roberts, Bryce Robinson. Thank you to Steve Sawyer, David Ellison, and everyone with CrunchTime. That's been all. See you next season, and we're out.